Radhe Krishna, Ram Krishna Hari. Welcome to all divine souls on yet another episode of Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum, the global festival of divinity and humanity, celebrating the universal teachings of Lord Shri Krishna on the occasion of Shri Krishna Janmashtami, which commenced on the 11th of August. Also in between, we celebrated Radhashtami, and we are going to culminate at Shri Krishna Janmashtami once again on 10th and 11th of September. 11th of September also we'll be celebrating the Universal Brotherhood Day, the day of Swami Vivekananda's epoch-making speech at Chicago Parliament of Religions. Today, I'm joining to you from the beautiful campus of Prashanti Kutiram, Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Samsthana, the beautiful yoga university from where we all grew up. On the 1st of September, we had Dr. Nagratna Didi and Professor Raghuramji also from there. And today we're going to have Dr. K. Subramanyamji also joining from the same campus. So I'm here to bring to you the message of Dr. K. Subramanyam, which is preceded by the beautiful Hari Kirtan based on the Varkari Sampradaya. Again, from wherever we are all going to go to the holy Kshetra, the Bhu Vaikunta of Pandharpura. And to take us all from wherever we are to Bhu Vaikunta Pandharpura, we have with us revered Shri Raghunath Das Maharaji, who is the Uttradhikari of Vishwa Varkari Samsthan from Kadayanallur in Tamil Nadu. He is the disciple and son of Shri Tukaram Ganapati Maharaj, who is the founder of the Vishwa Varkari Samsthan at Kadayanallur, who is in turn again a blessed disciple of Mahatma Shri Krishna Premi Maharaj and Baba Bandar Maharaj Satarkar, a great legendary master from the Varkari Sampradaya in Maharashtra. And we all know about our revered Guru Shri Annaji. So this is the parampara of Shri Annaji and Satarkar Maharaj, is what is brought to us today by Shri Raghunath Das Maharaj, who is a young spiritual master who has been a great scholar of Sanskritam also. As I know him from childhood days, I've seen his great knowledge in Sanskritam. He has also volunteered sometime with the Samskrita Bharati as well. And then he took full time to the prachar of the Varkari Sampradaya. Since then, he started various Varkari camps to a lot of youngsters. Perhaps so far, thousands would have got trained from him in the Varkari Sampradaya through all the Varkari Parivar camps that he had conducted. And a very enterprising, energetic, young spiritual master that we have in the form of Shri Raghunath Das Maharaj. And the whole family, which is there from Vittal Vihar, a beautiful shrine of Panduranga and Rukmini. He is bringing the grace of Panduranga and Rukmini from there. A great scholar of all the Shastras, it could be the Srimad Bhagavatam or Ramayanam, and mainly the Varkari Sampradaya literature of the Tukaram Gatha or Dhyaneshwari, the Haripat, and entire literature, Eknath Bhagavatam, and all the Prasthanatraya of the Varkari Sampradaya that he is an expert in. He has been conducting a lot of pravachans on the Varkari Sampradaya Hari Kirtan with Dhyaneshwari and various scriptures, traveling worldwide. It's Vishwa Varkari Samsthan. Therefore, Vishwa, the whole world, he keeps traveling along with the Guru and Father Tukaram Ganapati Maharaj and spreading it all over. So also he has been busy in the event of various occasions, the Dhyaneshwari Parayanam and the Hari Kirtan that he had been doing. And also now Shri Anna's 87th Jayanti Utsava from Chenganur. For that also he has been doing the session. In spite of it, when I requested that he should grace this occasion of this Krishna Mande Jagadgurum with a concept of bhakti in the Varkari Sampradaya, with the Hari Kirtan, with the traditional Hari Kirtan, he immediately accepted. I am very obliged, thank him for his love for us on behalf of Adhyatma Yoga and Advaita Academy and all divine souls who have joined us here. I offer my humble pranams to Shri Raghunath Das Maharaj, who has joined us from Vittal Vihar at Kadayanallur. We have Rukmini Panduranga there, and also Shri Anna and Satarkar Maharaj, and with all the Parivar there. He's going to lead us a great experience from wherever we are. We are making a yoga yatra. We are talking of Adhyatma Yoga. If you ask me, where is the great Adhishtanam, the Yoga Peetam? For everything, there should be a Peetam, right? So, which is the Yoga Peetam? Adi Shankaracharya says, Maha Yoga Peete Tade Bhimaradya. So, Pandharpur Vittala is the Maha Yoga Peetam. So, for yoga, he is Adhishtana Devata. And what more great yogis than Sant Jnaneshwar and Namdev Maharaj Tukaram? All they were great yogis, not only in the aspect of Bhakti Yoga, but even all the Ashtanga Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, everything that we can see in the wonderful Varkari Sampradaya itself. So I'm so glad that today in this festival, we're going to have a glimpse of, Varkari Sampradaya, Hari Kirtan will go on whole night. If they start, it can go on whole night. Ahoratra, it will go on. Such is the intense Sankirtan that they would do. So we would have just a kind of glimpse of it, perhaps later whenever time permits for Sri Tukaram Maharaji and also for our Raghunath Maharaji, we will have an intense Hari Kirtan also is our prayers to them. Ram Krishna Hari, over to Raghunath Maharaj.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Maharaj, you can start.
Yeah, okay. I'm very much blessed to participate in this series of satsang called Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. And we all know Sri Subhabhaya, and we very lovingly we call him as Krishnadas or Vinesh Ji. So he gave us an opportunity to do seva for his Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhakti series, or is a celebration of Krishna. And I am trying to give one seva. We don't call it as a program, so we call it a seva. This is a seva for Sant and Bhagavan, Sri Krishna Paramatma. And I am not very much comfortable in this language, but our Krishnadas ji told me, and of course he have compelled me to give the kirtan in English. So I try my level best. If I do any mistakes, please kshama kijiye. We'll start with Nama Sankirtan, and we will see one abhang of Jagadguru Tukaram Maharaj and about the bhakti in Vark Sampradaya, and I will explain Yatha Samay, Yatha Buddhi, Yatha Mati. We will see this abhang. We will enjoy this kirtan till 7:15, and by 7:15 I will finish this kirtan. Hari Ram Krishna Hari Jai Ram Krishna Hari Hari Jai Ram Krishna Hari Jai Ram Krishna Hari Hari Jai Ram Krishna Hari Jai Ram Krishna Hari
हरिचिया भक्ता नाही भय चिंता
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 दुःख निवारिता नारायणा दुःख निवारिता नारायण नारायण दुःख निवारिता नारायण दुःख निवारिता नारायण दुःख निवारिता नलगे वाहने संसार लगे वाहने संसार उद्वेग
लगे वाहने संसार उद्वेग
लगे वाहने संसार उद्वेग
लगे वाहने संसार उद्वेग
जडोने दीपांग देवराव जडोने दीपांग देवराव देवराव जडोने दीपांग देवराव
जडोने दीपांग देवराव जडोने दीपांग देवराव देवराव जडोने दीपांग देवराव
कामणे माझ्या सखा पांडुरंगा
कामने माझा सखा पांडुरंगा
कामणे माझा सखा पांडुरंगा तुका
कामने माझा सखा पांडुरंगा
या पेले जगते या पेले जगते या पेले जगते या पेले न लगे वाहने संसार उद्वेग
लगे वाहने संसार उद्वेग
न लगे वाहने संसार उद्वेग जडोने दीपांग देवराव देवराव जडोने दीपांग देवराव जडोने दीपांग विडोबार कुमारी विडोबार कुमारी विडोबार कुमारी विडोबार कुमारी विडोबार कुमारी
हरिचिया भक्ता नाही भय चिंता दुःख निवारिता नारायणा न लगे वाहने संसार उद्वेग जडो ने दीपांग देवराव असो द्यावा धीर सदा समाधान आहे नारायण जवळीच तुका म्हणे माझ्या सखा पांडुरंगा तुका म्हणे माझ्या सखा पांडुरंगा व्यापियेले जग तेने एके व्यापियेले जग तेने एके नलगे वाहने संसार उद्वेग जडो नेरी पांग देवराव विठ्ठला 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 हरि विठ्ठल श्री ज्ञानदेव पंढरीनाथ भगवान की माऊली श्री ज्ञानेश्वर महाराज की जगद्गुरु सीताराम महाराज की प्रेमी केंद्र सद्गुरु महाराज की सद्गुरु दादा मरकप्पा महाराज की सद्गुरु बाबा महाराज की सीताराम गणपति सद्गुरु महाराज की सर्व संतनों की संत श्रेष्ठ जगद्गुरु Tukaram Maharaj have written this abhang, Apratim Abhang. The main intention of Varak Sampradaya is bhakti, not the jnana. Jnana is the end of all Vedanta. Upanishad we say, that is Vedanta. The end of Vedanta is Upanishad, that is moksha. But Varakya Sampradaya start with moksha and end with bhakti. Jnaneshwar Maharaj in his Abhang, Haripad says, first Abhang, first charan, Devache Dvarubha Kshanvari Tene Mukti Chari Sadhyelya. When you utter the name of Bhagavan, the four kind of moksha, Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, Sayujya. Sayujya is Advaita moksha. And all three is Jnana, Uttara, Bhakti moksha. Jnanottara Bhakti moksha. That is Salokya, Samipya, Sarupa. and Sayuj. So where Vedanta ends, the Varakari starts. Bhakta is not a sadhana bhakta. A bhakta is a bhakta who completes, who fulfills all Advaita Anubhava and starts bhakti after he gets the Advaita Anubhava. Jnanantar bhakti we say. Bhakti is two kinds. One is sadhana bhakti and sadhya bhakti. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna Paramatma explain about bhaktas. Chaturvida bhajante imam janao sakritino Arjuna. We celebrate Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum now. There are three Jagadgurus. One is Paramatma Sri Krishna is Jagadguru. Another is Adi Shankar Bhagatpada, we say Jagadguru, Adi Shankar Bhagatpada. And after that, in Varaka Sampradaya, we say Jagadguru Tukaram Maharaj. So, what Jagadguru Krishna says, the same Jagadguru Krishna also says, Tukaram also says, through this Abhang, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Chaturvida Bhajantema. He spoke about four kind of bhakta. There's Artha, Artharthi, Jignasu. And fourth bhakta is Jnani. So please understand that Jnani also a bhakta. Bhakti is Parama Prema Swarup. And the Lakshana of Bhakti is explained by Narada Maharishi in Bhakti Sutra. And Lakshana of Bhakta is explained in Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter. The same, here also Jagadguru Tukaram Maharaj explained the first charan. Who is Bhakta? Those who wear Tulasi Mala and those who have Urdhva Pundra and Shvetambara, going for temple, doing puja, these are all the lakshan of, it is not the lakshan of bhakti. These are all the karma where you project your bhakti. Bhakti is different. And the lakshan of bhakta is different. It's not, the lakshan of bhakta is not on the bahya lakshan. Guna is the lakshan of bhakta. What are the guna that bhakta has? Tukaram Maharaj says, Harichya bhakta nahi bhaya chinta. In the first charan he says, Hari bhakta don't fear for anything and they don't worry for anything. The first lakshan is this. They don't have fear and they don't worry for anything. If you have fear in our samsara and if you are worried about your samsara, and you please understand that we don't believe in God 100%. Harichya bhakta nahi bhaya chinta. We do have our own commitments. And to fulfill that dharma, we are just worried for planning. We are not expecting any result and we are not feared about that. We don't get upset by any result. Our duty is to do that. So we don't worry about the result. So no fear and no worries. Tukaram Maharaj says in another abhanga, Bhayachiye poti dukhachiya rashi sharana devasi jata bhale. Where worry comes from fear. Dukkha comes from fear. The basic is fear. Why do you have dukkha? Because you feel fear, so it converts into dukkha. Dukkha is the byproduct of fear. Bhayachya poti dukkhacha rashi. But Hari Bhakta don't have that fear and they don't have that worry because they chant Hari. They chant Hari. Chita chinta dvayor madhye chinta eva gariyasi. Chita chinta dvayor madhye chinta eva gariyasi. Chita daghati nirjeevam chinta daghati sajivakam. That's a Subhashita says. In Smashana Bhumi we say Chita, where you cremate the body, the stage. The stage is called Chita. Chita will burn the body. That Chita has that much of heat which do Bhasmasat Kurute. It turns your body into ashes. That much of heat it has. And Chinta is worry. But what say this worry and Chitta, in between these two, the Chinta eva gariyasi. Worry wins because Chitta daghati nirjeevam. Chitta will only burn the body. Chinta daghati sajivakam. But Chinta, that worry, will burns you with your jiva. So, worry is more dangerous thing. It won't make you to lead a happy life. So how to get rid of this worry? Tukaram Maharaj says, Dukkha nivarita narayana. Dukkha nivarita narayana. Narayana is there for you. You say one is there. Vedanta is very, very essential for life. And we can't preach the Vedanta subject. This Anubhava experience. And the bhakti is, you can do that. You can show that. You can express that. So, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavata is two eyes for a bhakta. He gets jnana from the Bhagavad Gita and bhakti from Bhagavata, and both eyes are very essential for us. To enjoy the life, bhakti is more essential. It's not necessary, I say essential. Food is essential for life. Oxygen is essential for life. It's not necessary, it's essential. Likewise, bhakti and jnana is essential for life. With jnana and bhakti, we can come out of this Maya samsaric world. Maya etam tarantite. Mameva ye prabhadyante. So this is more important. So according to Bharata Sampradaya, bhakti is showing love to everyone and not to have fear of samsara. So in Bharata Sampradaya, all saints have not gone into sannyasa ashram. They are all samsaris. Because when you have adapted that jnana and bhakti, so no need to change your dress. You be with your friend and family and always think, Dhanadara putra jana. Bandhu soya re pishuna.
Bandhu soya re pishuna.
Sarva mithya he kanuna.
Sarva mithya he kanuna.
Sharanari ghade. शरण रेगा देवासी
शरणागति देवासी शरणागति देवासी
धन दारा पुत्र जन बंधु सोयरे पिशुन सर्व मिथ्या है जानून शरण रेगा देवासी. You understand everyone is perishable and still you live with him and do bhakti. They are anukula for bhakti. See, if you have a son who plays pakwas, if you get a wife who can sing back to you, if you have a mother and father who accompanies you, then why you worry about samsara? That's why Tukaram Maharaj have never went to sannyasa. He got 5 girl children and 1 boy, 3 boys, and he's a great samsari. And also he pray for Janma. That is Varga Sampradaya. Adi Shankara Bhagavad says, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani Jatare Shayanam, Ye Samsare Bhugudustare Kripaya Pahe Parimura. This is the Prarthana from Jagadguru, Adi Shankara Bhagavad that we should get rid of this Janma Marana cycle. Yes. Varga Sampradaya also accept this. We should not accept the Janma, or we should not go into the Janma which given by our karma. Karma should not bound us. So the Janma given by karma, it should be omitted. And you get Janma as a prasad from Vitthal. For what? Otherwise you can't do bhakti. Madhusudana Saraswati says, Bhaktyartam kalpitam dvaitam advaitadapi sundara. It's more beautiful. Bhakti is more beautiful than Advaita because it is kalpita dvaita. You understand what is kalpita dvaita? I understood I and Vitthal is one and the same, but still you became Dev, I became Bhakta. Come on, let's play in samsara. And do Nama Sankirtan and enjoy bhakti. This is called Kalpita Dvaita. This is called Kalpita Dvaita. Namatochi Keshava, Keshavatochi Nama, Prema Bhakti Bhava Magadase. I know that I am Keshavan, you are Namadev. We don't have any difference in between us. But still, I want to be your Bhakta. Nako Brahmajnana Atmastiti Bhava. Nako Brahmajnana Atmastiti Bhava.
Nako Brahmajnana Atmastiti Bhava.
Mi Bhakta tu Deva aise kari.
Mi Bhakta tu Deva aise kari. Mi Bhakta tu Deva aise kari.
Mi Bhakta tu Deva aise kari. Nako Brahmajnana. I know that I am you. I know that I am you. I realize my Atma, that you are doing everything. You are speaking through me, you are seeing through me. Me means what? You are the Bhagavad Chaitanya is doing everything. Sarvendriya gunabhasam, sarvendriya vivarjitam, asaktam, sarva bhritchaiva, nirgunam, gunabhoktracha. Jagadguru Krishna says that. Yeah, we accept that. Yeah, we realize that. But still, Tukkamani garbhavasi, sukhi ghala veyamasi. Tukaram Maharaj pray Vitthal that I want a Janma to enjoy you. I want a Garbhavas. I want Garbhavas. Jagadguru Krishna Paramatma says Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshana Darshana. That is for beginners, not for the Bhakta. I quote Adi Shankara Bhagavad Padal first. What? Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani Jatare Shayanam. This is what Adi Shankara Bhagavad Padal quotes. But Another sthiti is there for Adi Shankar Bhagavad Padal. I say this and I end this program. He says, Naratvam, Devatvam, Nagavana, Mrigatvam, Mashakata, Pashutvam, Kidatvam, Va Bhavatu. Vihagatmadi Jananam, Sadatvat, Padapcha, Charana, Paramanandalahari, Vihara, Saktam, Che. Hridayamiha Kim Tena Vapusha. I don't worry about taking birth, even as a mosquito. But one thing I should attach with your Padarvind. If that is granted, and I can take as much of Janma that you can do. Even Devatvam, Nagavana, Mrigatvam, Mashakata, Pashutvam, Kidatvam, Va Bhavat. Any Janma I can take. But only condition, Pandarichavasa, Chandrabhage Snana, Anika Darshana Vithobacha. So, Varakri Sampradaya Bhakti is Jnanottara Bhakti. It's just not stopping in moksha. After getting the moksha, after realizing that is I am the God, Aham Brahmasmi, he doesn't stop there and he neglects to have that Brahmajnan and still he prays for Bhakti because Bhakti is more beautiful than the Advaita Anubhava. This is the stand of Bhakti in Varak Sampradaya. I was very, very blessed to have a chance to participate in this Jagadguru, Krishna Vande Jagadguru program. And very much thanks to everyone. And this Alpamati, Alpabuddhi, I have made some mistakes while talking in English. Please forgive me. Nyunate, Purate, Adhikate, Sarate, Karuni, Ghe, Ave, Tumate, Vinutu. If it is anything less, you please fill it. If anything more I said, you please neglect it and take as much you want. And thank you very much. Jnaneshwara Mavuli, Jnanaraja Mavuli, Jnaneshwara Maharaj. Jai Jai Vithala, Jai Jai Vithala. Jai Jai Vithala, Jai Jai Vithala. Deva Tukara, Deva Tukara, Deva Tukara, Kundali Kavrade Hari Vithala Shri Jnanadeva Gopala Krishna Bhagavan ki Pandarinath Bhagavan ki Sarva Santanu ki Jai.
Ramakrishna Hari, Radhe Krishna. Once again, on behalf of all of us from Adhyatma Yoga and Advaita Academy and each and every blessed soul who is part of this global festival of divinity and humanity, who is watching all this from all over the world, I offer my humble Sashtanga Pranams to Sri Raghunath Das Maharaj, the entire team from the Vishwavarkari Samsthan and Parivar, who has joined us from a divine place, the Vittal Vihar at Kadenallur, which is not in Maharashtra, but in Tamil Nadu. Many of the people in the chat had asked, is he from Maharashtra? He is bringing the Sampradaya, the Varkari Sampradaya, the tradition of Maharashtra, but geographically located at Kadenallur, which is in Tamil Nadu, which is almost close to Kanyakumari, which is the Padatala of Bharata Mata. That is the beauty of our Bharata Varsha, that it is not just all Sampradayas. Bhakti is not restricted to one particular geographical boundary. Bhakti herself, as she tells her Mahatmyam in the Srimad Bhagavata Mahatmyam, she is somebody who was born at Dravida Desha, Utpanna Dravideshaham, Vriddim Karnatake Gata. She grew up in Karnataka. I am at Karnataka, sitting here at Bangalore, so it is where Bhakti grew. And she says, Kwachin Maharashtra. I did my PhD and post-graduation, everything at Maharashtra. So that is where we have the great Varkari Sampradaya from Maharashtra. As in the beginning, I told it's Maha Yoga Peetam, where Panduranga is standing there. As Adi Shankara himself says, Mahayoga Pite Tade Bhimaradya. So that's a divine thing that though the Raghunath Maharaj is present at Kadanallur in Tamil Nadu, but Vittal Vihar, where we are doing Vittal Smarana, Vittala is there, who is there in Pandrapura. We sing a folk song, Akkada Unde Pandurangadu Ikkada Unnadu. So that Panduranga who is there in Maharashtra is there. You know, we have a friend who has joined us from Mexico who says, oh, I'm in Mexico, but I'm feeling that I'm in India, feeling this divine vibrations of the chanting and the bhajans. Shri Ashok, who is a Maharashtrian, what is his surname? Is Ashok Kutsurkar, who is a Maharashtrian, who says, oh, such a flawless Marathi that he is singing, I'm feeling at home, right? So not only that Raghunath Maharaj or Tukaram Ganapati Maharaj can sing, but they can speak in Marathi. In fact, they live in Marathi. They are there at Tamil Nadu, but they are actually like, their Hridaya is always in Maharashtra with Pandrapur, with Alandi, with Dehu. That is how in that Bhavuka Loka they live. And they also take devotees there. Shri Tukaram Ganapati Maharaj has an ashram at Pandrapur also, where he organizes various satsangs. Raghunath Maharaj also sometimes takes all the devotees to Alandi, to Dehu, to all the kshetras connected with Vithoba and his great devotees. So people who wish to be a part of this satsang can definitely contact. I will share you their contacts. You can be part of this. He conducts regular camps of learning abhangs. Even your children, if they are interested, I wish you all put your children in the Vishwavarakari Parivar classes, which is conducted under the leadership of Sri Raghunath Das Ji Maharaj. And the whole family now, his wife, Srimati Subhadra, and his sister, Jana, everybody who will lead it. I request, yes, Maharaj, to share a few more words. Yes.
Can I take 1 minute?
Please.
Introduce everyone.
Yeah, please, Maharaj.
Yeah. This is our Chobdar of our Samsthan. Vijay Venkatachalam Mama, we call him Marathi Mama. He's from Raigarh, but he's a Tamilian. And he is our Shivrama Krishnanji, doing seva for Samsthan for last 30 years. He's our Vinekari and Talkari. And she's my Ardhangini wife, Subbalakshmi. And my mother, Sri Meenalochani, Srimati Meenalochani Amma. And my akka and mother-in-law, my sister and mother-in-law, Meena. From Narikol, and the Pakwaj in Mridangam, he is Vishnu. We don't have Pakwaj, everything is Pandrapur. Due to this Corona, we don't have Pakwaj, so he played Pakwaj in Mridangam. And he is another student called Sanjay. He also sung with us, Kirtan. This is our family. Due to Corona, we have not allowed anyone, even for Shravan. So I hope everyone is watching live in your YouTube channel. Thank you, Ramakrishna.
Thank you so much. Also for introducing the whole satsang, the Parivar. And we are also having the darshan of Vithoba and Rukmani just behind you at the Vittal Vihar. When time permits, usually every year Tukaram Ganapati Maharaj and Raghunath Maharaj conducts a very elaborate Abhang Mela, which happens usually in the month of December. It happens. So I request all of you, when time permits next time, all of you to please go and join there in the satsang. So once again, our humble pranams to the great Bhakta who had joined with us, Raghunath Maharaj, who would converse very well in English, but when we said a live session, you should give in English, he was a little hesitant. He said, I would be comfortable in doing it in Tamil, Hindi or other language, but I think it's a Krishna Sankalpa that you do in English, so that next you can take it. It's Vishwavarkari. So you can take it to the whole world. That's my humble prayers to you. Thank you so much. It was flawless. It was excellent, Maharaj. Ram Krishna Hari.
Ram Krishna.
Now, friends, we move on to the next part of today's satsang, where we are going to have excellent, a dynamic, vibrant speaker to speak. That is Dr. K. Subramaniam, who was former principal of the National Defense Academy at Pune. And priorly, he was also the principal of Vivekananda College, the Gurukula College, started by great Swami Chidbhavananji at Tiruvedagam, Madurai. For more than 2 decades, he was the principal there. And based on his record there, the National Defense Academy invited him on deputation to be the principal there. And he is known for a strict discipline, the values that he set as a great educationist and a great orator, a prolific writer. And he had authored, his PhD itself was on the English of Swami Vivekananda, basically a professor of English and philosophy. So his work, the research work itself has been Swami Vivekananda, man of letters. It's on the English of Swami Vivekananda. And then onwards, he had been writing on various magazines, authoring a lot of books. He had authored a series on the various brahmacharis of various yugas. It could be Bhishma, Hanuman, and all the Vivekananda, and all these brahmacharis. And authored so many books on yoga, on the Gita. He has translated the book of Swami Chidbhavananji into English and Telugu, and as well a lot of publications which have been published by the Ramakrishna Mission. One great excellent book which I like the most is Rama Krishna as Sri Ramakrishna. And he has a great epic which he has composed in Telugu on Sita Mata. It's Sita Sudha. So he has composed it on Telugu. His own wonderful poems that he has written, and all those are there. And currently he serves as the chief advisor of S. Vyasa Yoga University. So I'm here from Mangal Mandir at S. Vyasa Yoga University to bring to you the great talk by Dr. K. Subramaniam, very fondly respected among the yoga community, the student community, for his dynamic, vibrant lectures. And for me, he has been always a friend, philosopher, and guide. There is a beautiful shloka in, or a padyam in Tamil about Guru, how a Guru is. It is Alindorum Anekamanai. He is a mother. Whenever we cry, he is a mother to embrace us. Alindorum Anekamanai. Ariviladu Odi Adi. Vilindorum Yedukamappan. Whenever we fall down, he is a father who would lift us up. Vilayadum Burdu Tholan. When we go and play, he is a friend to us. Tolundorum Kakum Deva. Whenever we pray, he is a God who protects us. Ippadi Elam Ulavum Yen Gurunathan Vali Vali away. The song goes like this. So he is literally, all this lyrics of this word means my relation, he and my relation to me. So he has been a great mentor, a fatherly figure for me personally, and not only me, there would many who would be looking up to him for his guidance like that. So without much delay, already I have delayed, I know my over talking. So Dr. K. Subramaniam is going to talk today on the beautiful topic of human and superhuman in the series of Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Let's hear from him who the human is and who the superhuman is. With humble pranams to Dr. K. Subramaniam, I welcome him, and he is going to join for the same ID as me. So I welcome Dr. G. Yes.
Vande Sambhumumapatim Suragurum Vande Jagatkaranam Vande Pannagabhushanam Sasidaram Vande Pasunam Patim Vande Surya Shashanka Vanninayanam Vande Mukunda Priyam Vande Bhaktajana Ashrayam Chavaradam Vande Bhaktajana Ashrayam Chavaradam Vande Shivam Shankaram. Friends, our organizer introduced that I am a strict disciplinarian. He told me that I would have the mic, I would commence at 7:15. It is delayed. It's not my mistake, it is his. Therefore, I don't apologize, he has to apologize. Esteemed friends, God is invisible. Godly person is visible. Divinity is invisible. Divine person is visible. Dharma is invisible. Dharmic person is visible. Principle is invisible. Personality is visible. H2O is invisible. Water is visible. Now, this divinity is dharmic. To be godly is to be divine. To be divine is to be dharmic. To be dharmic is to be loving. To be loving is to be serving. To be serving is to be self-sacrificing. That divinity, when it is unmanifest, unseen, invisible, is H2O. The same divinity, when it is visible, is water. H2O is not seen. These two are gases, hydrogen and oxygen. These two gases in a particular proportion are the principle. That principle is seen in an expression, and that expression is water. Ice, frost, fog, mist, vapor, all are expressions. The visible expressions of the invisible two gases. Similarly, God, divinity, dharma are visible in certain persons. And those manifestations, those expressions are avatars. The principle unmanifest is divinity. The principle manifest is the avatar. To be divine is to be dharmic. Dharma and divinity are one and the same. All the avatars, all the manifestations of divinity are the manifestations of dharma. The two wonderful epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, illustrate this. In the Ramayana, there is a particular illustration. Sri Ramachandra Prabhu is going to the forest. Ma Sita is accompanying him. Brother Lakshmana is following him. On the eve of his departure to the forest, Sri Ramachandra Prabhu goes to Kausalya, Mother Kausalya, to seek her blessings. He prostrates himself at the feet of Mother Kausalya. Ma, to fulfill the wish of Father Dasharatha, I am going to the forest. Sita is coming, Lakshmana is coming with me. Bless me. Then Mother Kausalya does not simply say, oh my son, please go. Fire will not harm you. Cyclones will not disturb you. Nature will not trouble you. You will be safe. Such ordinary blessing she does not shower. On the other hand, she says, Yam palayasi dharmam tvam dhrutva cha niyamena cha savai raghava shardula dharmaha tvam abhirakshatu. My boy, Sri Ram, you will be protected by that dharma which you have been observing very meticulously all these years. Dharmo rakshati rakshita. The first dimension of dharma is protection. The first expression of dharma is love. The first protection of dharma is for the self and to the others. This is the speciality of Mother Kausalya's blessing. Yam palayasi dharmam tvam dhrutva cha niyamena charag tvam abhirakshatu. Similar episode we will take in Mahabharata. Duryodhana is going to the battlefield. He is prepared for the war. On the eve of his departure to the war, he goes to his mother Gandhari. He falls at her feet. Ma, I am going to fight. Please bless me with success. you should observe the difference. Sri Ramachandra Prabhu sought blessings, no specific request. Duryodhana sought blessings with a specific request, and that is, I must win the game. Gandhari looks at Duryodhan. I am sure you will win. No, no such promise, no such blessing. She says, Shrunu Mudha, yato dharma, tato Krishna, yato Krishna, tato Jaya. Where dharma is, there you find Krishna. Where you find Krishna, there you find victory. Both the mothers, Kausalya in Ramayana, Gandhari in Mahabharata, they blessed their children. Kausalya blessed yam palayasi dharmam tvam dhrutva cha niyamena cha savai raghava shardula dharmaha tvam abhirakshatu. May you be protected by the dharma which you have been observing vigorously, rigorously, meticulously all these years. Where there is dharma, there is Krishna. Dharma and Krishna are one and the same. Where Krishna is, there victory is. Gandharis. We'll come to Ramayana. There is the single combat between Indrajit on one side, Lakshmana on another side. All the precious weapons have failed. Anjaneya lifts Lakshmana, puts him on his shoulders, and then when Indrajit is waxing, when Lakshmana is waning, when Lakshmana was unable to face Indrajit, what was Anjaneya doing? Ram, 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 Ram. And Lakshmana got the cue. He got the idea. Oh, wonderful. All my weapons have failed. We shall use the wonderful mantra. Dharmatma satya sandhascha ramo dasharati. Yadi paurshyecha apratidvanda hasarayenam jahi ravanim. If my brother Rama is a dharmatma satya sankalpa, let this ordinary arrow of mine go penetrate into the chest of this Indrajit. Let him be smashed, let him be killed. And the strange, wonderful thing, with the ordinary arrow charged with Rama's dharmic power, Lakshmana was able to kill Indrajit. We shall come to Mahabharata. 18 days of Mahabharata Yuddha was over. Duryodhana was rolling in the blood. His thighs were broken by Bhima. In the night, Ashwadhama goes to Duryodhan and he says, my dear Duryodhan, make me the chief of the army staff. I shall go to the enemy camp, kill all our enemies. Duryodhana was pleased. He keeps a little blood on the head of Ashwadhama, and Ashwadhama goes, darts his Brahmastra, and it has killed all the Upapandavas. Pandavas were taken to a shelter by Krishna. Uttara is the wife of Abhimanyu. Uttara is pregnant. In her womb is Parikshit. The Brahmastra is such a powerful weapon. It kills not only the Upapandavas, but enters into the womb of Uttara to kill Parikshit. She makes a fervent prayer. Krishna could have saved the boy by just thinking of him. He can shower protection, but Krishna says, Yada satyancha dharmancha maya nitya pratisthito tada mrutaha sisuhu amum jivita abhimanyuja. If I am a satya sankalpa, if I have been practicing dharma, may that boy of Abhimanyu survive. Let him live. That means Krishna is the very embodiment of Satya and Dharma. And a very popular incident in Mahabharata. Draupadi was being dragged to the public court hall in the broad daylight to be disrobed by a rowdy. All the people were enjoying the vicarious pleasure looking at the predicament of Draupadi. At that juncture, Draupadi makes a prayer. Sri Krishna could have easily saved her. she makes the prayer. Harim narancha tranaya vikroshati yajnaseni tatastu dharmaha antarita samavruno vividaisu vastre. Krishnancha Vishnumcha Harim narancha tranaya vikroshati. Draupadi vikroshati, she was weeping. She was crying. Hey Krishna, Mukunda, Govinda, Janardana, Achyuta, where are you? Why don't you come to my relief? Why don't you save me? She was specifically asking for the help from Krishna. But Vyasa Maharshi very beautifully puts it. Krishnancha Vishnumcha Harim Narancha Tranaya Vikrosati Yajnaseni. Yajnaseni is another name of Draupadi. Tatastu Dharmaha. Dharma is invisible. Dharma is hidden. Dharma is beyond. And that Dharma came to her rescue. When she was asking the help from Krishna, help came to her from Dharma. What does it mean? Krishna and Dharma are one and the same. Ram is an embodiment of Dharma. Krishna is an embodiment of Dharma. Dharma is invisible, cannot be seen. The visible expression of Dharma are two personalities. One is Ram, the other is Sri Krishna. That's why in Valmiki Ramayana, Maricha tells about Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. He is the very Vigraha of Dharma, embodiment of Dharma. It is a Rakshasa that speaks about Ramachandra Prabhu. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. And Sri Krishna declares, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. What is the purpose for which I am born again and again? Paritranaya sadhunam. Vinashaya cha dushkrutam. Dharma samsthapanardhaya sambhavami. Yuge yuge. I am Dharma and I establish Dharma. Ramachandra Prabhu is the embodiment of Dharma. Sri Krishna is the embodiment of Dharma. The work of Dharma is to establish Dharma. And what is that Dharma? To do justice. Social justice, moral justice, poetic justice, godly justice, divine justice, which we don't find in the world today. This justice is to be done. When human people are unable to do, divine people are born as human beings and they do establish Dharma. This is the first part of the introduction. Rama is dharmic, Krishna is dharmic. And this Dharma, this divinity, this godly nature is shown, is manifesting in various avatars. These avatars can be divided into three. One, subhuman. Number two, semi-human. Number three, human. Beyond that human is superhuman. Avatars according to normal people are 10. In all the Puranas, we find the description of the Ramayana avatars. In certain Puranas, they are 11, 12, 27, 22. The number varies in various Puranas. What are the common avatars? Only 8. Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Nrusimha, Vamana, Parsurama, Sri Rama, Sri Krishna. Only 8 are constant in all the Puranas. If you take these 8, first 3 are subhuman manifestations of Dharma. Dharma, I am taking only one dimension: social justice, natural justice, moral justice, poetic justice. And Matsyavatar is subhuman, it is just a fish. The story is the Vedas are in the hands of Brahma. His father Narayana asked him to recite them constantly, and Brahma is supposed to have slept, had a wink. Somakasura was waiting. He stole those books. When we are traveling by the train, the thief is very alert. The rowdy is very alert. When the woman sleeps a little, he comes, snatches away the jewels. Similarly, when I sleep, my books will be stolen away by my neighbor. Indians have slept, Britishers have come and stolen away the sovereignty, Prabhutvam. And that's why Swami Vivekananda went to the southernmost tip of this country, stood on that rock for 3 days, and he shouted at the top of his voice, "Arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached." To wake us up, to restore the treasure, was Vivekananda in the recent past, and in the avatars, Matsya. In the form of a fish, God Lord came to wake up Brahma and to give back the wisdom to Brahma. Paritranaya sadhunam, to protect the pious person and to punish Somakasura, the thief, Matsya came. In Kurma avatar, again subhuman. It's after all a turtle. He came not to harm anybody, but to protect a good adventure, a good enterprise, for the people to get the best of this world. When Devas and Danavas were churning the ocean of milk, the nectar was to come. For that enterprise, divine grace is needed, protection to the enterprise. And that was done by Lord Narayan in the form of a turtle. Third, we have the great Hiranyaksha. Hiranya is gold. Aksha is eye. Hiranyaksha is the person who has his eyes always on money, grabbing gold, collecting. This was the tendency of Hiranyaksha. That is the tendency of many, many people now. There is once a wild boar. It comes, gives a blow, finish, the man is smashed. The government comes, makes a raid, takes away the accumulated corrupt money. Hiranyaksha is that. And here again, Varaha, Vara means Srestha. Aha means day. One auspicious day, somebody comes to the door, he is sent by Prime Minister Modi, the income tax raiding, and that is Hiranyaksha being caught by Varaha Avatara. All the three are subhuman. Matsya Avatara, Kurma, and Varaha. Next, you have semi-human. Nara Simha, half man, half lion. You cannot call him an animal. You cannot call him a man. This Hiranyakashipu has taken anticipatory bail from the Supreme Court of Brahma. Nobody can arrest him, man or animal, God or devil, inside the house, outside the house, neither on the floor nor on the sky. Such a wonderfully worded anticipatory bail was taken by the rowdy, by the gunda, by the loafer, by the criminal, by the rakshasa. And now God, Lord, had to work out in such a way, within the framework of law, he wanted to do justice. Because he had the protection from man or divine or animal, he came as a different person, half man, half lion. Neither inside nor outside, on the threshold. Neither with a particular weapon nor with a strange weapon, with the nails. Neither on the floor nor in the sky, on the thigh of Narasimha, Hiranyakashipu was done away with. Portia, in Merchant of Venice, went to the rescue of Antonio. Shylock took sufficient precautions. He wanted to take 1 pound of flesh. Portia came, pleaded with him. The quality of mercy is not strained. He was defiant. No, I want only 1 pound of flesh. Within the framework of law, Portia did the wonder. Mr. Shylock, you take only 1 pound of flesh, not a drop of blood. He was caught. Within the framework of law, Portia did justice. Narasimha did justice. And that was subhuman. Next, Vamana Avatar came. He is not physically well developed. He is a dwarf. He is a small boy, but highly intelligent. Bali Chakravarti was doing damage to the public administrative system. He was the grandson of Prahalad. Prahalad was a great devotee. Prahalad's son was Virochana. Virochana's son was Bali Chakravarti. Lord Vishnu gave a promise, protection to Prahalad for 3 generations. He cannot do anything. Taking advantage of the protection given to his family forefathers, Bali Chakravarti started troubling all the officers. He would go to the Prime Minister. He would go to the Chief Minister. He would fall at the feet. He would worship Vishnu. But he would come out of the office, he would kick the collector. He would insult the secretaries, Indra, the Dikpalakas, Ashtadikpalakas, Navagrahas. All the officers were put behind bars. They were displaced. They were beaten. They were imprisoned by Bali Chakravarti. Vishnu cannot do anything because he comes and touches his feet. There are such fellows in our society. They go to the top man, praise him, flatter him, croak at him, worship him, and officers will be taken to task. Such a man was Bali Chakravarti. Therefore, he came cunningly, like a small boy. Mabu, I want only 3 square feet for me to sit and meditate. Bali Chakravarti said, because it is Lord Narayana, Sukracharya already said that it is Narayana come in the disguise. He is a bhakta of Narayana. He cannot say no. And my hand is above, his hand is below. Prestige. He said, yes, I will give. With 1 foot, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala, Mahatala, all the lands beneath were occupied. With 1 foot, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka, Jagapaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, all the lands above were occupied. And he asked all the officers to come back, resume their office. Mr. Bali, where shall I put the 3rd foot on my head? Pushed him to the Netherlands. This is also a boy, Semi. Next, you find a emotional person, Parsuram, physically well grown, not intellectually. Highly emotional and revengeful. His father Jamadagni was killed by a person, a Kshatriya. He started killing all the Kshatriyas, indiscriminately massacring them. That is an emotional activity. That is also semi-human. So first 3 avatars are subhuman. Next 3 avatars are semi-human. Now Ramachandra Prabhu comes. He is human, Narottam, the best of human kingdom, the best of the mankind. He has values. The principle Satya Vakya Paripalana, Pitru Vakya Paripalana, the principle is embodied in this personality. He did wonders. And I am highlighting only 1 point, that is Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Cha Dushkrutam. Sugriva came. My dear Ramji, my wife Ruma is abducted, stolen, taken away by my brother Vali. He has beaten me black and blue. I am unable to enjoy the kingdom. I am unable to take my wife back. Please do. This is gross, immoral activity. No king will tolerate it. Are we not facing such situations in the country? Who is that Lord to come to the rescue of the unfortunate people? It is Sri Ram who has come to the rescue of Sugriva. He has listened to only one party, Sugriva, and he made the pronouncement of a judge. Mr. Sugriva, I shall kill your brother. Get the kingdom to you. Get your wife back to you. Is he a good judge? Then tell me your friends, I shall tell you who you are, what you are. Anjaneya was already interviewed. Anjaneya proved himself to be a person of integrity and scholarship, a wise person of extraordinary devotion. When Anjaneya is with Sugriva, you need not doubt the bona fides of Sugriva. Therefore, he made the pronouncement. And Vali was killed. Popularly, many people question that Rama's action was not in tune with dharma. Same question was asked by Vali himself. Like a humble man, modest man, Sri Ramachandra Prabhu answered all the questions. He was answerable to society. He was answerable to the public. He was answerable to the people. In Valmiki Ramayana, there is a beautiful conversation between Vali on one side, Ram on another side. Vali accuses Ram of killing him without prior information. And Sri Rama answers all the questions. That is within human limitations. Every administrator has to be answerable. When you come to Sri Krishna Paramatma, I don't care. Shakuni and party, Duryodhana, Dushyasana, Shakuni, Karna, Dusta Chatustayam, they have taken all necessary precautions. Hiranyakashipu gave a loophole. Vali gave a loophole. Everybody was having some defect. By the time you come to Duryodhana and party, they were very, very careful. All the witness was destroyed. All the necessary precautions were taken. And they took law into their hands and they were doing damage to the innocent people. Justice was denied to Pandavas. Very simple question. Does the property really belong to Duryodhana? Is a question. Duryodhana says it's mine. No. The then law of the land was the first son gets the property. Dhritarashtra and Panduraj are brothers. Dhritarashtra does not have the claim because he is born blind. Law of the land. Though he was the firstborn, senior, elder brother, he was not able to get the right to be the king. Panduraj, out of courtesy, asked him to sit on the throne. For all practical purposes, Panduraj was the king. Dhritarashtra and Panduraj did not divide the property between themselves, and Panduraj is the king of Hastinapur. Panduraja's children are Pandavas 5. Dhritarashtra's children are 100, Kauravas 100. The undivided family, Hindu undivided family, 105 brothers. If Dhritarashtra and Panduraj divided the property, each would have got half of it or whatever it may be. It was not divided. It was Hindu undivided property, and the children now to share the property are 105. Either they should share or the eldest should become the king. Dhritarashtra knew it. Therefore, he tried to share the property initially. He said, my dear Dharmaraj, you take Kandavavana. He made it Indraprastha. And they were deceitfully conquered in the gambling. It was a deceitful game. Therefore, injustice was done to Pandavas. By giving the property, it was an injustice act. By taking their property, it was an injustice act. And government cannot keep quiet. Krishna cannot keep quiet. and the lawyers are all on the side of Duryodhana. Law made by man cannot do justice. Man-made law is blind. Man-made law is deaf. Man-made law is lame. It can never do justice. It has not done justice. We know in this world how many murderers are escaping because there is no evidence. Even the judge, even if he had seen it, he cannot save it because the evidence is not favorable to him. False evidences are being produced. Injustice is being done. In the case of Rama doing justice, everything was capable within the reach of law. All these earlier avatars, when you come to Sri Krishna, there is a social justice being entertained. Injustice entertained, sorry. There is a moral injustice. Everywhere corruption. If you are to probe deep and do the work lawfully for performing justice, you cannot do it. Therefore, he took, I don't care. In the Mahabharata Yuddha, you find Sri Krishna going a step further, superhuman he became. From the ordinary subhuman avatars wherein justice was done, we find semi-divinity avatars, human abilities doing justice. And Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, well within the framework, he did the justice with a peep into superhuman possibilities. Sri Krishna Paramatma, I don't care. I just wind up the talk with a simple anecdote of the present. There is a judge, corrupt judge, takes bribes, and in the court hall, he gave the judgment, saving a murderer. That's also tolerable. Then he went a step further. An innocent person was accused and an innocent person was sent to the gallows. The judge did injustice. Everybody knew it. Successfully, the judge came out of the court hall, took his seat in the car. He went to his bungalow, and you know how beautiful are the bungalows allotted by the government of India to the judges. A huge compound. Now, the judge got out of the car. The watchman opened the door. In the neighbor's compound, the children of the other judges are playing cricket. One boy was the bowler, another boy was the batsman. He used the opportunity in the play. He gave a severe blow to the cricket ball, and that ball went beyond the compound wall, and the man judge was coming out of the car. He was hit on the right ear. He collapsed. He was taken to the hospital. Cerebral damage. Within a day or two, he died. Who is that cricket ball? Krishna. Who is that boy? Krishna. When man is unable to do justice, when human manifestation of divinity is unable to do justice, it is the superhuman manifestation of divinity that comes to the rescue of the affected people, and they do justice. If a person dies in cyclone, do you blame the cyclone? If a person is dead in the accident, do you blame the accident? Do you blame the cricket ball or the boy? Sri Krishna is superhuman. Among all the 8 incarnations, we find subhuman avatars, semi-human avatars, human avatar Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, who is answerable to law. Beyond that is, I don't care for man-made law, and that is a cyclone, that is a storm, that is tsunami, that is corona, that is cricket ball. That is the justice being done by Sri Krishna Paramatma. Let us always remember, humans may not do justice. Superhumans will never fail in doing justice. India is a land where justice is always done by the avatars. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanardhaya. Justice is to be performed. Justice is to be established. Dharma is to be established. That is the major work of all the avatars. Human Sri Ram has done it. Superhuman Sri Krishna Paramatma transcended law to do justice. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to our beloved Professor Dr. K. Subramaniam ji for classifying the avatars as subhuman, human, and superhuman. Now I think we get answer to most of the questions that we get on Shri Krishna. So why did Shri Krishna did this? Why did Shri Krishna did that? So it's always something that we always get, because we try to judge Krishna also or understand Krishna also in the framework of the human, what we have. I think by putting Krishna on the higher pedestal of transcending even the humanness and putting him into the superhuman, as rightly today, the dimension that he had highlighted, I'm sure. So most of us, when we have to look into Krishna, not just as a human who will fit into the rules and regulations of this earthly human life, but we have to understand him as the superhuman, is what a wonderful dimension that he had brought. Of course, Dharma remains the underlying criteria for everything, but for the Dharma Rakshanartham only, Shri Krishna himself had descended as a superhuman. And this is an excellent presentation that we had from Dr. K. Subramaniam ji. And I would request all devotees to read his books, which are available. Mostly his books are available in Ramakrishna Mats, which are available everywhere, all over. We get Ramakrishna Mat centers where his books are available. Even in Vivekananda Kendra, his books would be available. He visits regularly to Vivekananda Kendra, Kanyakumari, and also SVS at Bangalore. And mainly Ramakrishna Mat has a Vivekananda Center of Excellence, Human Excellence in Hyderabad, where he visits frequently and also teaches there. So there also you can do the question. And so as Ames van der Berg had mentioned, amazing presentation it is. Yes, we have again Marcelo Ojo from Mexico had also given her appreciations for Dr. Subramaniam ji's excellent presentations. And Avatar, superhuman, against all human of abnormality, well narrated in strong tone. Our administrators should also learn from our epics, is what Sri Narasimha Govindrajalu had commented. So many such wonderful, excellent comments are coming from various people. Of course, as in the beginning, he said, I would apologize for starting it a bit late. Yes, 7:15 his session would start, but I should also do my duty of introducing him in the right way, so that people who have not heard him should know the great achievements what our beloved professor had done. And therefore, with this note again, I thank both the speakers today. In the beginning, we had excellent Varkari Sampradaya Hari Kirtan by Shri Raghunath Das Maharaj from Vittal Vihar at Vishwavarkari Samsthan at Kadayanallur, and my humble pranams to him, and also Shri Dr. K. Subramaniam, who had joined us from the S. Vyasa Yoga University today, and my pranams to him also on behalf of Adhyatma Yoga as well as Advaita Academy, and from each and every one who is here with us. So with this again, I would like to go on to announce the session for tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to have an excellent session from the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram by Srimati Nritya Jagannathan, who will be presenting on Dr. Krishna. We have seen Krishna's different dimensions, Krishna as a warrior, Krishna as a teacher. Yesterday we saw Krishna as a student, and today we saw Krishna as a superhuman, Krishna as a yogi, Krishna in different dimensions that we have seen in all these 23 days and yet to see for the next one more week to go. And tomorrow, Srimati Nritya Jagannathan would present on the healing aspects of Krishna, Dr. Krishna, the supreme healer. And she's the director of Krishnamacharya, the Department of Yoga Studies from Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, Chennai. And before that, before her talk would start, we would have healing chantings from the Department of Chanting. Srimati Shobana Srinivasan and team would lead it from again Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. Don't miss it. They are going to have wonderful, vibrant healing chants. It's very required in this period of the pandemic, the corona, which is Adi Devika. We don't have a control over this. So only prayers can help us to do, my dear friends. So we would have an excellent healing chant prayers, which would be followed by the talk on Dr. Krishna, the Supreme Healer by Srimati Nritya Jagannathan from the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. And with this, again, we would move on to have the Utsava Geetam, the Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum song, with which we conclude. So I should start with the audio. Eight.
वसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम्
देवके परमा
Can you start from the beginning, please, with the screen share, please?
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम्
देवके परमा
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्
गोविन्दं गोहितं देवं गोपी हृदयनायकम् गोविन्दं गोहितं देवं गोपी हृदयनायकं गोवर्धनधरं धीरं गोवर्धनधरं धीरम्
सुधामसकृदं देवं सौभाग्यस्य महोदधिं सुधामसकृदं सौभाग्यस्य महोदधिं करुणामय रूपं तं करुणामय रूपं तं
द्रौपदी चीरदं देवं शरणागतरक्षकं द्रौपदी चीरदं देवं शरणागतरक्षकं
रुक्मिणी रञ्जकं चारुं रुक्मिणी रञ्जकं चारुं कामेन स्तुतं देवं विदुरेण नतं सदा कामेन स्तुतं देवं विदुरेण नतं सदा उद्धवा भीमतं वेद्यम् उद्धवा भीमतं वेद्यम् पार्थस्य सारथिं देवं शोकमोहनिवारकम् पार्थस्य सारथिं देवं शोकमोहनिवारकम् धर्मयुद्धजये हेतुं धर्मयुद्धजये हेतुम् धर्मयुद्धजये हेतुं धर्मयुद्धजये हेतुम्
योगनिष्ठं स्थिरं देवं कर्मज्ञानसुभद्दिदं योगनिष्ठं स्थिरं देवं कर्मज्ञानसुभद्दिदं
समत्वसहितं शान्तं समत्वसहितं शान्तम् मायामानुषवेषाढ्यं बलिनं नयकोविदम्
मायामानुषवेषाढ्यं बलिनं नयकोविदं
गुणेशं निर्गुणं देवं गुणेशं निर्गुणं देवम्
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you all once again.
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगत्